Hello and welcome to EcoElsa, where I also bring you videos to help you get outdoors. On this week's video, we'll be going over 8 strategies to help you stay safe from strangers when hiking. So, let's get started. Now, before we get started on the 8 strategies in this video, I wanted to go over a few things with all of you. I obviously am not an expert on martial arts. We'll be going over some strategies I use to stay safe when hiking in new places, as well as to stay safe from strangers when outdoors. Recognize the fact that it is a privilege for a lot of people to feel safe when outdoors already and not to have to think about a lot of these things. This video isn't meant to scare you from getting outdoors and hiking, but to empower you with these strategies so that you can feel comfortable and safe while being outdoors. I don't mean this to discriminate against any group of people. This is merely informational. It's going to be geared mostly towards women and women with small children because that's what I'm familiar with, but it can be used by any group of people because anyone can feel uncomfortable and unsafe when outdoors. It's not specific to any group of people. This is not meant to be discriminatory to anyone based on their age, gender, race, abilities, sexuality, or anything else. So with that being said, let's get started with our first strategy so you guys can get outdoors and have fun and be safe. Strategy number 1 is using the buddy system. So this means going hiking with other people, friends, family, or even a dog, because being in a group or having a dog with you is a good way to deter people from approaching you who might mean you harm. If you don't have friends or family or a dog who want to go hiking with you, you can also join a hiking club or a hiking group. There's lots of them all around the country. There's ones focused on hiking clubs for women, for seniors. There are even groups like Outdoor Afro that are focused on making the outdoors more accessible for groups of people who traditionally haven't had the opportunities to get outdoors and to learn those skills and to enjoy nature, which is really sad but really amazing that groups like Outdoor Afro now exist. So big round of applause for Outdoor Afro and the work that all of you are doing there. I love seeing the stuff you guys post, so keep it up. Strategy number 2 is for when hiking outdoors with children. For starters, make sure you're teaching your children to stay near you when you're outdoors. That way it's easier to keep an eye on them. If they're the kind of children that they want to run ahead, then teach them that they have to stay within eyesight of you so that you can keep your eye on them. You're the parent though, you make these decisions. Additionally, it's also smart to teach your kids a code word, a secret word that's only between you and them and very specific people that you let know the code word. And they shouldn't share it with anyone else. This way, if a kid is ever approached outdoors by a stranger who doesn't know the code word, your child knows to run away and to scream and call for help. That way they can stay safe. So code words are a good thing to teach your kids. Additionally, depending on the age of the child, if you don't have a kid who is willing to listen to these kinds of rules, there's other options for parents to use if they want to still get outdoors with their kids. Other things that are available is the children type leash things that attach to the child on a harness or maybe onto a wristband around their wrists. These are what you could do as well to help you and your kids stay safe outdoors. So do what makes sense for you and your kids. Strategy number 3 is when you're trying to get more familiar hiking on your own after hiking on trails you're familiar with buddies. Some things to do is to hike during the daytime, that way the trails are well lit and you can be able to see your surroundings. Additionally, select trails that are frequented by other people. This way there's other people around and you'll feel a little bit more comfortable because there's safety in numbers. If you're still trying to find which trails in a park system you're most comfortable with, talk to your friends and family who also hike, but also maybe talk to someone who has similar needs to you when it comes to hiking so that you have a good idea of which trails they feel comfortable on, and then ask them why so that you have a better understanding of why they're picking those trails perhaps. Strategy number 4 is for when you're selecting a new park or trail system to hike on. You're doing your research ahead of time. You're looking up where the park's located, see if it's in an area you feel comfortable, as well as doing research on how the layout of the trails are so that you understand that before you even get to the park. Then once you're at the park, maybe even hike with a buddy so you can feel more comfortable with the trails and get to a feeling for them. And also, this is a great opportunity to now pull out your phone and check to see if you have service in areas or if there are any dead zones. That way you know that ahead of time the next time you're out there if you are hiking alone. Strategy number 5 is for when you're hiking alone. The big thing is being aware of your surroundings. So this means not having your earbuds in, or maybe only having one in. That way you can listen to the trail around you and get a feeling for the trail, and if all of a sudden something feels off, you're going to be more likely to notice it because you are using more of your senses and not just relying on what your eyes see. Additionally, if you're still feeling uncomfortable when hiking outdoors, good trails to avoid are trails that end in a dead end or long stretches of trail with no connecting trail to them. This is because it's harder for you to turn around or to go a different direction if all of a sudden you feel uncomfortable and something's off or different. Also, be aware if a trail runs along a road because there can be pros and cons to this as well. While the road may be a quick place for you to run to, it also might be something someone is counting on. So keep that in mind. Strategy number 6 is for while you are out hiking if you're feeling uncomfortable on a trail. You should turn around or to select a different trail and go a different direction. This is meant to keep you safe and comfortable. So even if you're like, oh, I'm just seeing things in my head, I'm just making up things, it's okay. Sometimes you get a little bit nervous out on a trail by yourself, and I'd rather you be safe and turn around than to just try and push past the emotions and possibly get into a dangerous situation. An additional thing that you can do to help yourself feel more comfortable and safe in the situation is to call a family member, a friend, or a non-emergency police number and explain the situation to them and ask that they stay on the line until you get to your transportation, a building, or a safe place of other people. You should also tell them which park you are in, and if the trail has a name or a number that you are on, tell them this as well as which end of it you are on, so that in case something did happen, they would be able to send for help. The big point of this is being preventative when you feel uncomfortable and helping yourself feel more comfortable and more safe in the situation. So please do anything that you can to help that happen. Strategy number 7 is choosing to carry some kind of protection with you when hiking. This could be anything from a heavy walking stick to pepper spray to a firearm. Now, make sure you're following the rules and the laws of the park that you're hiking in, as well as the city that it is located in, or the country or the state, whatever the laws may be. Make sure you are following these properly and you're not carrying something that is illegal for where you are at. Additionally, make sure you know how to properly use it. That way you do not harm yourself accidentally in the situation. As well as recognize the fact that anything that you bring for protection could potentially be used against you in a situation, which is something that you need to make sure you're aware of and know how to properly defend against. Keep in mind that it is your choice to bring this item into the woods and whether or not you use it in a situation. Do what is best for keeping yourself safe. And lastly is strategy number 8. Someone is threatening you or trying to attack you while you are out on your hike. Now, the very first recommendation is to try and get away and to call for help because you have better chances when doing this. If running away is not an option, then it's trying to keep your attacker as far away from you as possible. Swinging a stick around, throwing rocks, whatever you need to do to try and keep them from getting close enough to you that they could harm you. If this isn't possible and they get within striking range, you need to, as quickly and as efficiently as possible, incapacitate them so that you are not harmed. As I said earlier in the video, I am not a fighting martial arts expert on the quick and best ways to incapacitate someone. But luckily, you are on YouTube and there's lots of videos that you could watch to help you better defend yourself if someone was to try and grab you in different situations. The big things to keep in mind is to go after the weak points so that you can incapacitate them as quickly as possible so that you can get away and to call for help. These parts are the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the neck, the groin, and the joints. So if you can try and hit these as hard as possible, break things. If someone is trying to attack and harm you, you need to injure them in a way so that they cannot try and grab you and harm you. As I've said many times in here, your safety is what you are in charge of and responsible for. So you need to do whatever you need to try and stay safe. After the attacker is incapacitated, where they can't come after you and hurt you again, you need to get away from them and to call for help. Call the police, call for an ambulance, and depending on what's happened to your attacker, so that way they can get help. But it's to stay away from them. You are not trying to restrain your attacker. You're just trying to keep yourself safe. Now, some things to keep in mind All 8 of these strategies are suggestions, and you are the one who's going to have to decide what makes the most sense for you to do to stay safe in different situations. But I hope this hasn't scared you away from hiking outdoors. I do want to see all of you getting outdoors and enjoying hiking and having fun doing it. So I hope with these strategies you now feel a little bit more comfortable and safe, and you now have a better idea of what to do in these kinds of situations. In all the years that I've been hiking alone since I was a kid, I've never came into a situation where I had to run away or defend myself from it. It would be an attacker. There have been times though when I've been out in the woods and I've been like, you know what, something doesn't seem right about this trail. I'm going to turn around, or I'm going to pick a different trail and head back. And if I have ran into other people hiking alone, usually women, I give them a heads up saying, hey, such and such trail back there felt off. I felt a little something off about it. Just giving you the heads up, just so you know, and gone on with my day. Now, I know part of the reason why some of you may be uncomfortable with these strategies is because it's making yourself less of a target and making someone else more of a target if they're less aware, less informed, less paying attention, whatever. But unfortunately, that is the best we can do. You need to focus on keeping yourself safe, and then if you see anyone else, give them the heads up that something felt off. Or share this video with them so that they know the tips too to be safer when outdoors hiking alone. Now, no more doom and gloom. Feel empowered. You now have 8 strategies to help you be safe and comfortable outdoors, as well as tons and tons of tips to go along with them. And keep doing your research. There's plenty of stuff out there where you can learn more to help yourself get outdoors and feel safe and comfortable. I hope to see you out there, because that's part of my goal with EcoElsa, is making the outdoors more accessible to more people and different groups of people. So I hope to see you out on the trails, enjoying being outdoors and being safe and comfortable. Unfortunately, this is all we have time for today. So if you like today's video, make sure to click the like button below, but also subscribe and make sure to ring that little bell button. That way you can be notified the second my videos are up on YouTube. If you still have more questions, leave them in the comments. I'll help out as best I can or get you resources with better answers. If you're still looking for more resources to help you and your kids get outdoors, click the description. I got a link to my email list where you can get a monthly email of tons of resources to help you and your kids get outdoors. There's also links to all my social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and a blog, and all of these have tons of resources as well to help you and your kids get outdoors. So I hope you all have a fantastic week. You be safe, learn lots, have fun, and get outdoors, obviously. Bye! Done. Freezing my tush. Bye.